2022. That ended. I know it's 2023, and I should have made this video by last year. Before we talk about 2023, let's talk about things that happened in 2022. Games I played, games that are not just released that year, but also games I just played and what I thought of it. I want to do this part quickly, so let's put it in song form. What song do we have that's like... Kirby's Forgotten Land was really great. Kirby's Dream Buffet was kind of pretty good. Shotgun King was nearly perfect every single way. Multiverses was a game I could not play. Mario Strikers was really mid. Minecraft I played a lot, so it was pretty pog. Overwatch 2 was really bad. American Truck Simulator was super great. Splatoon 3 was actually really kind of fun. Dragon Ball FighterZ was friggin' awesome. Sonic Frontiers is actually pretty good, I swear. Fall Guys was mid overall, but I think Mario plus Rabbids is really hard. Pokemon Arceus is innovative trash. Pokemon Violet Scarlet, there were so many glitches I lost count by hour 9. Bayonetta 3 was really great. Xenoblade 3 I did not finish at all. Switch Sports is a thing that happened this year. Really? That happened this year? Okay, sure, whatever. 2023. Usually I would do the recap video. I just did the recap portion because, I don't know, instead of recapping the year, I think it's infinitely more fun to think of the things that will definitely not happen. You know what I mean? I think every YouTuber and basically everyone who, I don't know, just wants their, like, vanilla, like, basic pick says, Mario Odyssey 2, well, no. It's not the most necessary thing in the world. Like, Mario gets so many entries by so many people for so many different series all the time. Like, you don't need a Mario Odyssey 2 because literally the modding community has reinvented the game like 7 times over already. So I don't think we need a Mario Odyssey 2. Breath of the Wild 2, on the other hand, you know, like that's a little bit different, right? Like, are we gonna have 2017 2? Apparently, that's like what people are waiting for it to happen, I think. Where it's like, oh, Breath of the Wild 2, Mario Odyssey 2, and then Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle released last year, but you know, it's beside the point. If that's like the type of year you're waiting for, you probably shouldn't be watching this video, but hold up. I want a year that is more like 2021. You see, in 2021, that was a year where a lot of the games released and announced were smaller first-party titles that are for obviously a small audience, however, throws that general series into the larger market through the Nintendo Switch. I want to see more of that this year. Like, smaller IPs, for example, Rhythm Heaven. Biggest one out of the small IP group, I think, personally. I don't really know. Maybe there's another one, like Styles Savvy or something. Yeah. That type of year is super cozy because all of the IPs are unique and original because you haven't seen them for a freaking decade. Like, I want a lot of that where it's, like, not just the big four being Splatoon, Mario, Zelda, and Animal Crossing. We'll look it up. That's what Nintendo thinks too. And yeah, so maybe that, and also F-Zero. I don't really care too much. Mario Kart has the DLC, and they have all the good racing stuff. F-Zero is cool for the people who like F-Zero, but also for everyone else, it's like, this is just Mario Kart, but again. I know. It's like, don't say that. Don't be like that. What the hell? And I'm like, Moving on to bigger news would be like Breath of the Wild 2. This is a confession moment. I haven't actually finished Breath of the Wild. Like, in fact, I've only played like the first fourth of the game. I only got up to the first Ultra Beast. I don't know if that's the name. I think it's the camel creature. It's the camel creature. And that's it. That's all I've done. Technically, you know, you should be like, oh, you can just go to the end any point in the game. And I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, but also I haven't really spent the time or effort into playing a game, mostly because I'm more of an overhead 2D Zelda freaking like person that just really likes Link's Awakening on the GBA and not on the Nintendo Switch, because of course that's what I play more often. Yeah, so I don't know what to say about Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's gonna be not a reimagining of all of the mechanics in Zelda, obviously. Not like a new philosophy on game design. You don't need to do that every single time, Nintendo. It's more gonna be like a new perspective on the same format that Breath of the Wild 1 paved out. Now that I have to specify it, Jesus. I think it's gonna be like, oh yeah, Breath of the Wild 1, it was on the ground, and you could be on the ground, and you could be everywhere on the ground. But like Breath of the Wild 2 is gonna be like, you could be in the sky, and I could be everywhere in the sky. and maybe underwater too, because we didn't also let you do that in Breath of the Wild 1. I don't know why. I think that would have been an awesome addition, but I also kind of understand that because there's not that much water in the game anyways. I don't know. That would be cool to see in the game. I think that would be like an underwater thing. I don't know if that's been a thing in a Zelda game. No, it's been a thing in Majora's Mask. I forgot. I'm sorry. All right, whatever. Moving on. Xenoblade 4. It's coming. We all know it. They'll never bring X back. Jesus Christ. If they're ever gonna make a Xenoblade 4, it's either gonna be wholly for the next console, or it's just gonna be the later games that doesn't sell as well as 3 or 2. So far, 3 doesn't have like a main, like I haven't seen that much hype around 3 as of it coming out, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like I guess there's no a big titty like marketable character in the box art, and I'm like, that's sad. Jesus fucking Christ. Realistically, I think Monolith Soft is probably just going to be helping the development of Breath of the Wild 2 like they did for a bunch of other Nintendo games like Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild, and so like, you know, nothing that crazy. Yeah. However, for an unlikely pick, you know that concept art they made for like a Zelda game? Like, are they ever going to extend on this? I feel like this would make a great Zelda game. I feel like that would be like the 2024 release, considering they've tried to make a yearly release for the Zelda franchise, and I'm like, that could be awesome. That could be so cool. Mario Party Superstars DLC or sequel. I still stand on the idea that there's not enough boards on Mario Party Superstars. I think there could be a Super 2 or Super Mario Party 2 where it's original boards, but it's more based on the philosophy that Superstars and of course all the older Mario Party games had. I don't think there's going to be a Superstars 2, mostly because if you make that, you need new mini games that are old mini games and new old boards, which I don't think there's enough like interesting new old mini games to like warrant another one. So I think there's just gonna be a DLC of like new boards, Super 2, Superstars DLC, or Mario Party 11. 11? Is it 11? Have they made? Yeah. Oh no, never mind. That's a fan. $30 game, a $30 game which was like the exact same length as Mega Man 10, if not shorter, and like, you know, I feel like if they were able to make a Mega Man 12, it'll have to break more ground, be even bigger, break the whole 9 boss format and make it into like, I don't know, I feel like 9 levels is usually like just like way too short. It's like something tells me like it should be like worlds, where it's like 9 levels every world. And I know that warrants a far bigger game, but I also think, like, if you want to make a Mega Man 12, and if you want to make it big, and if you want to make it sprawling, you gotta be like you gotta experiment a little bit. Nintendo Switch Online! There's gonna be 60 forgettable games added to Switch Online's Famicom thing that are historically significant, yet none of the younger generation really gives a shit about. Minecraft stuff. I played a lot of Minecraft stuff this year, mostly because I had the people and the groups and the opportunities that also regularly like played in Minecraft and spent a lot of time in it, so like had meaning for me to like, you know, jump back in. But like, I don't know what they should do for like future updates anymore, honestly. It's very like they've gotten a lot more slower than they used to. Like during Aquatic, they changed, or like Nether, like they did a lot, but like they don't do any much anymore. Caves and Cliffs was a really good generation like update. I think there's a lot of great ideas. It's just that there is I think Minecraft updating is like really cool, but like the one problem with Minecraft updating, at least according to the developers, I feel I'm not speaking for them. In fact, I haven't really said anything about this, but I feel like Minecraft is constantly waging a war on what it wants to be sometimes, because like it wants to preserve that old identity Minecraft has that brought in so many people in the beginning, but also it wants to add new shit to, you know, actually be an evolving game. So it's like, what do you want to do? I know it's not really like a debate that I have any hat in, because I don't really care, because like the new stuff is cool and the old stuff is cool, and I can switch between versions because I, you know, play some amount of Java, some amount of Bedrock, who cares? And I expect firstly some sort of like updates to some visuals, because I always like the little graphical updates they do. It's really nice with all the like the new pixel art and all the new small features that they should do. And I also think that they should like look back on a lot of what they've added and make it intertwine better and fit better, I feel, from a game design perspective, mostly because there's been a lot of new stuff that's being added all the time, but also a lot of that, you know, if you really want to make the old stuff and the new stuff come together, I feel like you should make it so like all the old stuff is reconsidered, reevaluated, updated properly, balanced also, kind of, sort of, not really, but like balanced, if you get what I mean in this really abstract sense. But yeah. I also do think Microsoft is slowly ruining Minecraft. Slowly but very surely, I feel it is indeed ruining Minecraft. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Man, I don't... You think 2 years is a fine enough gap for, you know, Mario games, Sonic games? Yeah, okay, cool. But like, also, you don't really need a new one. I was like, are you gonna make another one? Are you gonna make China? Are you gonna make the winter one? Okay, to be fair, there hasn't been a winter one for Switch yet, and ideally, you want the pair, and you kind of want to leave it there, right? Like, oh yeah, give me the Sochi and the London, and then you go on, and we don't need Rio. You give me the Tokyo and the China, and we don't need anything else. Like, I feel like that's a good way of like, oh yeah, we can cover all our grounds without having to recover all our grounds using like newer Summer Olympic themes to like I don't know, like it's not really that needed. I feel it consequentially loses their value the more it just copies the previous entry. And I feel if they were able to spice it up so great for Tokyo, they could be like, oh, one winter game, that's it, it's gonna come out this year. Or it's going to be another summer game, which I really don't care about because we already had the summer. It's like, I don't know. Personally, my favorite one is 2014 Sochi, and second to that is 2012 London, mostly because that's the only ones I remember. Splatoon! You know what I want? Literally anything else outside of another entry. And we're not going to get Splatoon 4 for quite a while. It does seem like they've organized and structured Splatoon 3 in a way where it can literally last like 10 years, like on its own with updates and DLCs and season passes, battle pass, but we don't actually pay for them because it's actually a tangible game that you have to pay money for without being free to play. I don't know, where it's like, okay, fine, that's cool, but also like, can you like make a spin-off, like make something that's not just shooty bang bang? Because you know what I feel like there's so much potential and so much like lore and world building packed into this like little crumb of a little bitty bit of a game. And like, give me like, for example, the Mario one. I want the Mario one, but also I know it's not really popular. I'll say another one that's equally not as going to be as popular. Actually, it might be really popular too, because I think a lot of the fans for the crossover might overlap. I feel they should make Atlas X Splatoon. I say Atlas mostly because it wouldn't really be a Joker is in conflict. No. It'd be more like a Persona-esque game that is set in the Splatoon world. Kind of like Hyrule Warriors, but the other Hyrule Warriors, the other one. I said the other one. Yeah, that one. The one where it's like, it takes the gameplay elements and it takes the gameplay ideas for a Persona, and it just translated to Splatoon in a very elegant way. I think a lot of people, when thinking of Persona as like this grandiose piece of media, I'm like, I can't really make a perfect analogy. All I can say is, if Persona has the daily life side and the inside your brain brainwashing a bunch of old people in Japan side, like, then that should be turned into life in Inkopolis side, Turf War, campaign, like defeating Race War with Octolink side. And I feel like that would make a brilliant entry. I don't know. That would be an awesome spin-off. It'd be 60 hours long, and you have to play it. You have to like fucking scroll through 90 hours of dialogue. It's just like, I don't know. That mathematically does not make sense at all. But I would freaking love that. And I feel like it would give a lot more purpose to a lot of the things that are in Splatoon as of right now. Mostly because they're kind of at a point where they've wrapped up on all major plot threads and are probably going to make the DLC just try to create as much possible in a short amount of time just to set up like the next few entries in the series. And, you know, switching topics to DLC, actually, we've already sneak peeked that the new extended DLC stuff, it came to Octo expansion, is going to be Pearl and Marina, and maybe Asian 8 as well. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Asian 8. I think they're just going to take the Splatoon 2 data of your Octo expansion stuff and give it into Asian 8. I don't know. If that's the case, that's pretty cool. I think they've gotten far better at making campaigns after Octo expansion, considering the fact that Splatoon 3 literally just copied what Octo expansion did and made it awesome. And I'm like, okay, sure. Give me more of that. That's fine. But also, like, don't make a lot of the elements very obvious that it's being copied from the specific sections in Octo expansion. Like, oh my god, the final cinematic, like, not the gameplay portion, the gameplay's a little different. This final cinematic for Splatoon 3's campaign is basically a direct copy of the final cinematic in Octo expansion. I thought that was a little too on the nose, and I feel like that should be changed up just a little bit. They, like, copied the percentage bar and everything, and I'm like, okay, sure. So what do I want in this DLC? If they're thinking long-term DLC, it's ideally like 2 or 3 that they're gonna probably make, right? Because it's not just gonna be like, oh, we're gonna make the game, and then later on we kind of think of an interesting idea and make it into a DLC. No, they've planned this out from the beginning, so it means like there's like multiple, probably multiple entries at the very least. And I think if they're ever going to cover Asian 8 and continue that story, I think that's fine. I don't know what there is to continue of it. Kamapoko Carp literally blew up by the end of it. There's like not many major villains other than Octo Canyon stuff. Okay, I guess if Asian 8, Marina, and Pearl are going to be on this, it is slightly relevant to a lot of what the Squid Sisters were doing back in Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, so they could go on that. It'd be nice if all 6 idol groups could, actually no, 7, I forgot to shiver, could all meet up for once in like one shot, and like that'd be cool, I feel. That isn't necessarily like a requirement, because I do also feel that Splatoon works better with all these different fragmented areas all the time, like having like fun doing whatever the hell. They still haven't followed up on whatever the heck happened after DAG Octavio escapes. Like, what are they doing, huh? What the fuck? It's weird. They've already specified that this is like the ending stepping stone, so I guess they're gonna either make a new villain or like resurrect a villain, which would be kind of a cop-out, because come on, man, don't resurrect Tartar, like that's so lame. So like, yeah, they would have Asian 8, Pearl and Marina in that DLC, and if they're ever gonna make another one thing, actually, I would like this more than Pearl and Marina, mostly because there's like no extended story on this after Splatoon 2. But like, what the fuck happened to Asian 4? You thought about this, right? You thought about this. You very much thought about this whilst you were playing Alterna. You're a very caring and kind person who does not forget every single member of the team. Did you? If you did forget about it, well, fuck you, because, oh my god, we haven't seen or heard of anything about this character after this point, after Splatoon 2 and onward, and I feel like that's intentional, because I feel like they're just either gonna, A, forget them, or actually bring them back for a DLC. I mean, for God's sake, they do actually care about the character, because recently in a Splatoon interview, they've specified where Agent 4 actually lives. And if you look at this, it's the funniest shit ever, because she's like the Breaking Bad of the Splatoon universe, in the sense that she lives in the fucking off-chance desert in New Mexico. You travel actually like 9 fucking cities worth of distance every day for work? Are you got batshit insane? I would love a DLC where it's Agent 4, but it's like a John Wick style movie, and it's Agent 4 versus the like maybe literally all of Splatoon. I don't know. That'd be funny. I think that'd be pretty funny. It'd be cool if Agent 4 is like a villainous role or like a evil, bad role. Oh. You'd have to introduce some kind of like new thing that happened to the character whilst you were gone. Because I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't just forget about it. They were in the interview. I feel like they would like give a shit. Are they going to make like more characters, or are they going to make like more villains or more factions? Because like right now Splatoon's world is very full. In the sense that there's a lot to talk about, but it's very like empty in the sense that all of it is kind of everything important to talk about is important, but also it's all done. It's like there's not much more to add past Splatoon 3. Like, think about it. Grisco is down. Kamaboko Corp is down. Octavio, okay, that's like the only thing I can think of when it comes to future villains, but like that's probably just gonna be a constant for the rest of Splatoon as like a series anyways, until they solve the race problem, which they probably won't, because I feel like that's an allegory for something that they don't solve their major territorial race problem. I don't know. Political commentary in children games. So yeah, I think they're either gonna make new stuff, be creative, and I think they're gonna introduce some kind of ocean and or ground and or air. Ooh, sky-based? Question mark? Space alien? Pog? That kind of like on the nose mentions some kind of political real life event whilst being a children's game. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Personally, my number one thing they could probably cover would be the terrible conditions in prisons. Bandai Namco x Nintendo games? Whoa, news? And I'm over here like, what the fuck? That's not, what? So recently there's been news of Bandai Namco remastering a 3D action game for Nintendo. And I'm pretty sure this is Kid Icarus. I'm really sure this is Kid Icarus. I'm like very sure this is Kid Icarus and nothing else. Come on, man. Like, Sakurai actually like winked at us in his recent videos. I forgot which one, but like he was like, oh, if only someone could make a port of this game onto Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, that has to be Kid Icarus. he was like, oh, maybe if only someone. And I'm like, that's Sakurai. He works with Bandai Namco for Smash Brothers. It would totally make sense if he got Bandai Namco to remake a 3D action game, which is, you know, Kid Icarus. That makes sense. That's cool. I think a lot of the gaming things that they've learned from Smash Bros. Translate into Kid Icarus anyways really nicely. So, like, yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I think if they're ever going to make a Kid Icarus game, it's going to be Sakurai's break game. And if they are making it right now, it makes kind of a lot of sense because he is in break mode currently. He's running a fucking YouTube channel. Like, think about it. Oh, I have things I don't need to do anymore. Oh, wait, never mind. More IV drips for me. It makes perfect sense. Even if I constantly say that I want Smash Bros. To be made by someone else who isn't Sakurai, I also doubt that that's going to happen because the man apparently likes torturing himself. I don't know. I feel like that's a weird thing to be into, but like he keeps doing it in a really tragic way. I mean, thinking about it now, I think it's like easier to make another game for Kid Icarus than the remaster of the one on 3DS. Not only are there particular controls that I think they could translate pretty nicely by using the motion controls of the Switch, they actually use the bottom screen in that game to show a lot of information, and I feel like you can't really cram all of that into one screen anymore. And I don't know, just make a new game, in my opinion. I think it's important. I think it's actually easier to rethink of a lot of things and go for like a Kid Icarus Uprising 2 that kind of like tinkers it around in a way where it wouldn't really be a remaster if you were to do it on Kid Icarus Uprising. And yeah. That'd be asking a lot from a lot of people, but like I don't know. I think that might be easier than just like bringing everything, force cramming everything onto the 3DS at the one screen. I don't know. Maybe it's just me saying that because Wonderful 101 didn't turn out as great and fun as I hoped. So yeah. As for what if a sequel ever came out, I think Pit should be in a winter theme. I'd like to ski and I feel like that'd be cool. Yeah. Kirby spin-off. Maybe Epic Yarn 2. Who knows? Goodfeel could, like, just bail Yoshi. That could be something they could do. I mean, if they're not gonna do Kirby, it's gonna be stupid. Like, Box Boy meets Box Kid meets Box Uncle meets Box Orgy meets Box Tangled Family Tree. Like, it's gonna be, like, dumb, like, simple, cutesy, like, that type of game. And I'm like, that's cool. I doubt they're gonna make a new Kirby entry by the, or I doubt they're even gonna announce a new Kirby entry by the end of this year. I'm thinking, like, they're remastering Return to Dreamland. But, like, does that mean they're gonna remaster Planet Robobot and Triple Deluxe? I think they should just remaster Planet Robobot, personally. However, I think it's gonna be a mix of they remaster Return to Dreamland and they either make the next 3D Kirby game, which would be kind of insane because it feels like 3D Kirby, like Forgotten Land, specifically took actually forever to come out because of considering they had to, like, bridge it with Star Allies. So, like, yeah. I don't know. I think it's maybe because all of the experimentation is done now. Like, they could probably just, like, fall back on all their lessons and they kind of could just, like, pump one out a lot more faster. I don't know. Forgotten Land just set up so much in such a short amount of time. I think it's, like, almost warranted that we get a new 3D Kirby game. I just don't know when. Right? Like, I don't know when, I don't know what it would have. I think it would just have a lot more new update abilities based on, obviously, all the old Kirby abilities being translated to Third Access. Maybe even, like, some new, like, maybe even some, like, reimaginings of some moments in Kirby games that are, like, put in 3D, for example. What if all of Marx was in 3D, huh? How would that work? Well, I mean, they've already done that partially with all of the constantly reoccurring boss attack patterns they've done with, the final ultimate crazy hard battle at the end of the game. But yeah, 1080. Okay, this is not gonna happen. Pikmin 4. I don't know, man. Like, they could go past the numbering system they set up in Pikmin 3 and be like, oh, there's now what, like 6 leaders? Whoa. It's gonna be Alf, Brittany, Charlie, Olimar, Louie. Fuck, I forgot the last one. Who's it? End of Pikmin 2 post-game. President! Star Fox! This isn't gonna show up until, like, 2039. So far, as far as I know, Star Fox for 2023 is just gonna be, like, a minor cameo in a back alley indie game. I'm sorry, okay? New Super Mario Bros. I think this is gonna come back. Yeah, I'm grinning behind the microphone right now. I think New Super Mario Bros. Is gonna come back with the resurgence of, like, 18 more games. Don't ask me why. I can't explain it to you. It's just that I feel like first of all, I think it can come back if it did everything actually new and it stopped calling itself that, right? If it called itself, like, Mario World 2 or Mario 12 or something, like it's something like numbered, consistent, or subtitling, that would be great. And I also think they really screwed up with U Deluxe, mostly because, like, it wasn't a compilation of new Wii and 2, which is, like, it's kind of a missed opportunity. No, you could have remade all of them with all the new assets, and that could have warranted a lot more love and a lot more content. Like, 370 levels! That would be impossible to remake, but that would be fucking insane, because that would be so much Mario, you wouldn't know what to do with it by that point. Another Pokemon game! Yeah, that's gonna happen, because Pokemon can never stop existing. Whoa. The next Pokemon game is gonna have Pokemon, people, places, and porn. There's not any other thing to guess about because they've done literally everything and anything they could possibly do at this point, and they just need to keep adding on to that giant pile of stacks they keep making, both figuratively and literally, almost in every other form of stacking something, because they apparently own a fucking airline company. Also one thing, the Mii's could be up to something. The Mii's, maybe Tomodachi Life. I actually haven't played that original game, mostly because I've only played the Japanese version, which both on the DS and the 3DS, and they were really fun. It's just that, you know, I I just don't know what would happen if they were able to make a sequel or a remaster or a port of some kind. I don't know what they would add. Actually, I do have an idea of what they would add. It's just that, like, to give more personality, obviously. Also allow same-sex marriage. Like, I don't know. Other than that, I don't know what, like, big thing they could do with Tomodachi that's, like, super interesting. I like the games. It's just that I like the games as they are way too much in the sense that it's back with the Minecraft discussion again. I don't know what other new stuff they could add that to Tomodachi. Maybe they could add something that's a lot more akin to, like, Street Pass, even, where it's like you don't need to actually, like, actually no, you could make it like Street Pass, where, like, oh, Nintendo Switches connect and then they, like, translate through the gameplay of Tomodachi Life. It's not gonna be required per se, but it's just gonna have, like, ooh, look at all these Miis from your other Switches playing around in the Tomodachi. Like, that'd be cool. I feel like that'd be cool if you could go outside, bring your Switch, and it connects with other people's Switch. And then what like it gives you, like, that Street Pass moment, and they all come into your apartment. That would be cool. I think that'd be, like, so cool, but also that would be super hard for a lot of people to do, mostly because they're either in isolated areas or they don't go outside. I don't know. Not saying from experience. Don't make fun of me. But my Street Pass count was like 4 people. I'm sorry. Prime 4. Yeah, that's a thing that's not going on until like 2025, 2026. But I don't know. Do you need this game to even come out this console generation anymore? Like, what if it came out? What if it was the whole Breath of the Wild situation all over again? And it was, oh yeah, that'll start the next console. This big, graphically intensive, crazy game will be the next part of the new generation. I think that would give Metroid just the biggest spotlight by far, and I think it would also be the situation where, just like Breath of the Wild, it would release on Nintendo Switch and the next generation console. I think that'd be a great closer for the Switch, as well as the opener for the next game. However, it'd be funny if, like, again, Toast came in with a clutch and to port, like, the Wii U game onto Nintendo Switch. That'd be really funny. I don't know. I just love it how Toast is still credited as people who made Nintendo Switch Breath of the Wild, because technically they did make Nintendo Switch Breath of the Wild. Which brings me to that thing Retro was working on during 2014 to 2019 till they had to work on Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, they had, like, this era where they were probably working on something, but, like, wasn't Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze DLC. Because, let's be fair, if we shorten that time from 2017 to 2019 by assuming that they took 3 years to put Funky Kong in a game, which, okay, to be fair, the man is fucking huge and a massive Chad, just a massive amount of workload to put all of that buff fucking Chad energy into a game. I also think they're probably been made something from 2014 to 2019. Maybe it's probably just another entry in the DK series, which would be pog as fuck. We did hear rumors of in-house Nintendo project working on a Donkey Kong open world game. Whether if that's gonna come out, okay, let's assume there is a world where that rumor is true and that rumor is not true. If it is true, then Retro's working on something else, and that means it's either Metroid Prime 4 just gonna come out and then Retro works on their thing. Maybe it's an original game, or maybe it's another Nintendo IP. Or it is the Donkey Kong leak is not true. Nintendo's actually working on Clubhouse Games 52, and Retro actually is working on they're working on the open world DK game, or they're just making Tropical Freeze 2. It's the best game ever fucking created, because apparently for some reason every time you play it, it gets better. The more you play it, the better it gets. It's like this thing where it's like kind of technically impossible, but they made it happen, which is insane. So yeah. Now let's move on to extra Nintendo stuff. Things that are not directly on a screen like all those video games, and more also on a screen, I guess. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Like, first of all is more theme park stuff. DK is rumored. DK is, I think, gonna finish by 2024, so we're not gonna see that until next year. But I'm pretty sure, like, the overseas, at least for me, overseas American Nintendo Worlds are gonna finish. They're gonna be open. It's gonna be riddled with a bunch of people who will just try to break apart every moment they could touch literally anything, and by like the end of this year, the theme park will look like one of those like really like a torn down theme park after it's like completely like scavenged for every part of Nintendo memorabilia. I feel like they're gonna make another one of those like CG like music video trailers they had for the Mario theme park. Funny story, that video is no longer on the official YouTube channel anymore because I don't know, maybe it's because the artist thought that they could listen to their song for free now using the video when it's really more of a showcase for Mario than Charlie. I'm sorry, but that's just where it was uploaded, so you know. In this new DK music video, it'll be paired with Donkey Kong and The Rock's new single, We Are Born to Fuck. The fuck will be covered with a very long censor bar. Oh, also, by the way, you can watch the Nintendo World music video still. I'm pretty sure by going on to like third-party websites, third-party YouTube channels, and also Nintendo Brazil. Yes, because yes, Brazilians can deserve news about a Japanese theme park that they will basically never be able to go to if they don't fly outside of their country. Yes, very cool. There'll be more Splatoon concerts with Shiver, Fry, Marina, Pearl, Callie, Marie, and they're gonna be in more of this stuff. I don't know, they've kind of like toned down the number of music tracks, and they've reused some tracks from previous games for Splatoon 3, so I don't know, they gotta get on that. They gotta be more inventive. But however, you know, alternate tracks have been prioritized, I feel like, and a lot of the campaign has a lot of great music tracks that are just simply not like that popular because they're only used in the campaign, and they can only be so flexible in being realized in the actual turf war. Mario movie will exist. Rosalina will be in the post-credits. I will shit my pants, and the sequel will be announced in 2024. And finally, my most realistic prediction for 2023 is gonna be Advance Wars is never coming out. Bye!